Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the old round 8 here. It's season 11 here at Zoom Racing League. We are here tonight with Division 1 here at the streets of Baku, Azerbaijan. Very spicy race this morning. Very tragic end for a couple of podium racers towards the end. We'll kind of see what our D1 boys can do in terms of putting on a show for us tonight. We're currently at 15 on the grid. A lot of people just not showing up tonight. Noticeably, the V-Carb guys just not doing attendance, which is really cool. But we'll see. So let's see about our, that's a tire wear. Let's take a look at our weather forecast. Looks like we will be sitting in the dry with a little bit of clouds in the actual race. So no weather shenanigans today. Last week we saw some bizarre weather with a little bit of rain in the middle of the race. And we actually got our first non-Marcel Pabst race winner. So that was a nice little change of pace. Nick Aro taking P1. And in a very exciting race at Austria. Lots of weird stuff going on there, but no weather shenanigans tonight. We'll see how tomorrow night goes. So we have Dave Raptors reserving here in the Ferrari. He is currently on his first push lap tonight. Now, one thing that's always been consistent with Baku, ever since we've been racing this track in these Codemaster games, is the rear tire wear is always insane here. Doesn't matter how well you treat them, you will have some insane rear tire wear. So you always have to be really gentle. And that's something that's new in the last couple of games there. You can go really wide. Maybe that's just this one, but you can go really wide there on the exit of the castle section, and you won't invalidate. So that is a nice little bit here. No Ferraris into the wall this time like we saw Leclerc go into the wall yesterday or Friday, whenever that was. So let's see. So it looks like Dave Raptors will set the pace here. With a 39.5 for Dave Raptors. Man, that last straight is always so long. So let's see who we got. We have, looks like Nick Aro, race winner from last week, will finish his first lap, and he will do a 37.8. So that's more like the actual pace we'll probably see for potential pole. And we saw Nick Aro put his pole lap in with his second attempt at Austria last week, I believe, and then ran into some traffic on his final go, getting a grid penalty, but it was able to overcome that grid penalty and still come back out on top. So Kai Guo in the Aston Martin here with a 43.2, maybe looking to actually have set. Oh, yeah, looks like he did a prep lap, and so he's actually on his real push lap here. Battery can be a little laggy, so it's hard to tell for certain. Does have the fuel to finish. Oh, he's on intermediate tires. Let's actually pull that up, so it doesn't even matter what times he's doing. So he did that on intermediates. So you have Castleman, who is known to run medium laps in the middle of qualifying. We have Mateo, both Aston Martins, Mateo and Kai Guo on intermediate tires here. And it looks like we have two people currently, looks like they're pushing. We have Terrence here in the Whataburger car. Ton of battery left. I'm just curious if that's just how this game is right now. One downside of having to broadcast every race, can't do any races yourself, so your familiarity with the track is somewhat limited. Obviously, I could still play the game, but hard to find the motivation when I'm not racing, when I'm not prepping for anything. So Terrence dump it. Okay, so I see now. Dump the entire battery here as we head down this last straight up to the line. And Terrence with a 40.1, so a lot of time there. Slower than his teammate in the other Whataburger car with the medium tires here. Maxime also about to finish his first lap. Goes to a 39.2. Puts him in the Alpine in P9. So a lot of people on their way in. Looks like we have Nick Hamrick here in low fuel mode, heading down the pit straight here. We have Marcel Peps on his way back in. Looks like everyone has set their first lap here. Teo on intermediates here. Invalid on his whatever in lap, whatever he's going here. Or whatever he's got going on here. Yep, if you're just tuning in, you haven't seen the announcement. We have 3 rounds to go, including this one. A big slide there from Terrence on his way back into the pits here. So the announcement is that this will be the final season of F1 with ZRL. Obviously, F1 24 is just not done spectacularly. Been very divisive from even before it was released. And we just have not been able to bring in enough new people to make it worthwhile to continue, really. Seems to be a stigma with PC leagues, with PC-based leagues and console players. As we had an Xbox Division 1 season, and since then we basically had maybe 2 or 3 Xbox drivers at most, and we have trouble keeping them. Another thing we kind of had issues with is because we're so limited with drivers, we have had a lot of new people join, race a race or two with us, say, oh, you guys are too fast for me, and they leave. So that is an issue with when we have an old population, a lot of veterans, a lot of people who've been here a long time. Everyone, that skill floor gets really high. So for people just starting out sim racing, it's very difficult for them to feel like they can be, competitive, which is understandable. But it's just kind of where we're at. And the other thing also is, like I mentioned in the announcement, it's just time. It'd be better for us to end while we have something, on our own terms in a way, enter speaking, rather than end it with one day I'm just by myself and no one else is here, because everyone has stopped playing the game. So that's pretty much it. So feel free to ask any questions in general chat. I'll do my best to be as transparent and honest here. Kaiguo still pushing on intermediate tires here. Really doesn't want to spend any of his time on any of his tire sets here, maybe with the expectation that we're going to have a bunch of safety cars. Saw Major Castman doing some laps on these mediums. And Nick Aro here also looks like he's trying to push, but he's pushing right into a bunch of traffic. He's going to continue to push. He's going to use this as some sort of... He's going to... locks up as he goes into turn 2. I'm sure he won't be happy, feeling like he's blocked here. Looks like he's still pushing. Let's see, this Dave Raptors we hopped on board. I hit the wrong button. I think I hit 1, I hit 11. Or shift 1. So Nick Aro up here actually right in front of him, so. See as he only kicks out her. So Dave Raptors trying to follow our current pole sitter. Stelios in front of both of them. So Stelios giving a tow to both Nick Aro here and Dave Raptors. Favorite part about being a league owner? Favorite part would be when things came together, you know, like when we did Season 9 and we were able to run 3 divisions. And then when we had some pretty decent attendance that season, that felt nice. One thing that has been a bit frustrating is since taking over, there has been something of a, I would say, kind of on the precipice of having some real trouble. You know what I mean? Like, we took over, we can only run 2 divisions right out the gate. A lot of people just didn't want to keep going. And then we started doing a little bit better. So it was always just kind of a fight against kind of just trying to keep as many people that we've had in the past, or kind of keep the old population of people going, even though they may not necessarily want to. Try to find new people, but it's, you know, it's a challenge. I mean, the best part about, I guess, being the league owner is simply like when we have a good weekend, some nice, good racing. You know, it's not like just a bunch of controversial tickets the whole way. Ooh, the camera almost going into the wall there. And also, it's nice to have something to look forward to and kind of have something to keep you busy. You know, it's just a nice hobby. Just kind of managing everything all the time. You know, there's part of it that does kind of stroke your ego a little bit when people are looking for the answers to something and they're always having to reach out to you. So it's nice always kind of meeting new people, getting to know them a little bit. At the same time, though, even though it's nice meeting new people, you do also meet the scum of the earth, and you want to punch them in the face, but you still have to put on a nice face because you want them to race. You know what I mean? What I look forward to doing in the future as a Discord moderator of the ZRL server. Well, first of all, Labib, I'm the server owner and an admin, not a moderator. We don't actually have moderators anymore. We just have 4 admins, I think, technically 5 admins. We have me, NVA, who's on his sabbatical. We called Nathan a moderator for some reason. That's just a lack of we just kind of threw Nathan in because he wanted to help, and then there was just a lack of planning for exactly what his role was. So I realized this season he should just have been a moderator. Like, he should just, you know, should have been free to do whatever he wanted, you know, contribute in whatever way he wanted to. So he's an admin. And then Cal and Jeff are our iRacing admins. So, I mean, we're still looking to kind of get something going there. The only issue with iRacing is it's expensive. Cal only wants to do the most expensive stuff. He's like, let's do only tracks that aren't on the IMSA calendar. So you have to buy all of them. And we'll only use cars that are defunct. So you have to buy those cars. And then, no, I'm kidding. That's not what Cal wants to do. It's hard. The iRacing thing is just difficult because you don't want to just be, you know, a league that does rookie classes, because that's boring. You could just go do rookie leagues. What you'd want is to do the most fun cars in iRacing against your friends and people that you've been racing against a long time, and that are, you know, that you know are competitive and that you want to try to beat. You know, like it's one thing to race against fucking Dick Trickle on a Thursday night at 4 in the afternoon because he has more iRating than you. It's also another thing to be like, I'm going to go after Nick Aro because that dude keeps kicking my ass. And I can talk shit with him and afterwards and, you know, not get banned for a month from iRacing for telling him to go back to China or something stupid like that. Nick Aro running into some traffic there. And the other thing with iRacing is, like, it's a little bit more limited with, like, I mean, we have a lot of options. It's very configurable, more than F1. but we're limited with, it costs money. We can't just have practice sessions running all the time, because that would get really expensive. And also, yeah, you just have to pay for that stuff. So as long everyone has to pay money to do iRacing, people have to pay money to get a car, get a track, and also there's the convenience of iRacing where you're, excuse me, where every race in a sense is like a league race. You have to practice, know the track, things like that, know what to do strategy wise. Ooh, Freddie Razzle with that broken arm or whatever he's dealing with. Right into the wall there. So that's also an issue. So where people do iRacing are more likely to just do it because, or be sweaty in the races, at their convenience rather than sweat for a race once a week. So it's difficult to kind of build a community, and they do exist. It's possible. It's just trying to find the thing that we want to do, and also that we can get a bunch of other people to do, and that's a difficult thing to figure out. I think one thing, it's not necessarily like any kind of empirical evidence thing here, but notice how, we kind of made an announcement. The league is, ending, and the most reactions we have is 5, and then we have like maybe 4 people talking about in general chat. People who are here in the server just, they're no longer interested in the community they once were. They moved on, like I said in the announcement. So it's like, it's just, we've been holding on by a thread for the last year. And it's just kind of time to just do something else. One thing though, Labib, your questions though, I think now that I think about it, I think the best thing that I've gotten out of ever since I took over, we are at the end of qualifying here, so let me talk about that before. So Marcel Paps putting himself in P2, Nick Aro beating him by a mile. So Nick Aro has just sweated the hell out of this track, it appears. Nick Hamrick invalid here. Dave Raptors reserving the Ferrari P4. Kaiguo finishing here, moving up into P6. Major Caspin in P5. Mateo right behind his teammate here in the Aston Martin. And that finishes qualifying for us. So about a 2-second gap between P1 and P15. Nick Aro just smashing qualifying tonight. I know Marcel Paps had an injury a few weeks back, so he may still be affected by that. So maybe limiting his practice time. So here we go into the race again. You can see that forecast in the bottom left. That is still accurate for the race. So that little orange graphic there, little clouds are a little cloudy, and that shows that the race will be a little bit cloudy. So maybe easier to see your brake markers here without all these clouds and shit. So that's nice. But to get back to what Labib was saying, I've been yapping for a while, but I'll try to yap while stuff's not happening. But Labib was saying, I think the best thing I think my favorite thing now in hindsight is just the amount of stuff I learned. Well, I mean, I would say that's second. I think the best thing just about being from ZRL in general is just the amount of people. The amount of people, the amount of friends that you've gained. The amount of people you got to meet and get to know and race with and be friendly and, learn about all these people and all these different places they come from. Like Sid will always have a special place, in my heart. We won the Division 2 Constructors Championship. Sid won the Drivers Championship back in Season 4. And then we've, Sid has been, it's harder for him he's become more an adult now, so it's harder for him to race. He tried the last couple of seasons, and big respect for him. But, he's got other things going on, living in India. And so me and him don't get to talk as much, pretty much ever now, because, he's doing his own thing. But, the people and everything like that. But that's even before just being in charge. But I think the big thing would be the amount of stuff I've learned. When you're in a position you're not necessarily prepared for or you've done before, you learn a lot about how hard it is to have to make all the decisions and to make all the right decisions. And then you learn how to go find answers for things like that. I know there are things that, I can't exactly remember how I introduced things right at the very beginning when talking with the other two admins we had at the time, NVA and Ranger. I don't remember exactly what was said or how I said it or what expectations I created, but I know now that it was the wrong way to do things. Too restrictive, too many rules, too many. You learn over time that it's not about just like making this big league like or the NFL, and you got to have all these rules, make sure things run a specific way. It's more about, you're just trying to make a nice time for everyone. And just have some fun racing. You want to accommodate everyone as best you can, because they're committing, they're giving you just in a way that you're giving them some time, giving them some of your time. They're giving you some of their time as well. So it's just like respect that fact that they're helping you do something. And when somebody running a little bit late, it's okay to like we had a few weeks back where we had that other league race run long because they mismanaged it like a bunch of doo-doo heads. So we delayed our race for a while so that our D1 guys could finish that race. Try to be accommodating. And try to make it a fun experience for everyone. And here we go. We are getting this D1 race here at Baku underway now. Nick Aro taking us from the front row with Marcel Papster. Looks like a really nice start from Nick Aro. Ooh, very close to touching. Oh, Marcel goes around, so Marcel goes... Oh, a little bit too much there for Marcel, and he goes into the wall, I think, on his attempt to turn his car there. Nathan Doan up the field. A lot of weird stuff happening here. Let's put up our position changes here. Freddie Razzle up 3 positions. Oops, wrong button. Stelios up 3 positions. Marcel Paps down from P2 down to P15. Rough race for Marcel. Oh, more crashes in the back here. We saw Stelios go around there. Probably something similar to what we just saw with Marcel and Nick Aro there. Marcel going into the wall there. Looks like his wing is okay. It's hard to tell from here. We'll go ahead and bring up our tire performance thingamabob here. So no damage there for Stelios. Pull up to Marcel here. A little wing damage for Marcel and Nick Aro with that vacuum left by Marcel Paps. Nick Hamrick now over a second behind. And then a bit of a gap forming between our two Haas drivers here for P7 and P8. There's our possible tire strategies. No way anyone is starting on the hards here. Let's see. All right, so I say that we have 5 people starting on the hards, and we have one on softs. Maxime, a memo within the Whataburger Discord is that the softs die after about 3 laps. So we'll see how long Maxime can make those work. But so far, not too bad on the hards. At least after 1 lap here, Kaiguo and Mateo are sticking with the medium runners, with the exception of Nick Aro, as no one is keeping up with him right now. Bit of action here between Cam Bourne and Nathan Doan. Cam Bourne getting that move done. Going into turn 1 there. Maxime still on those softs. A big gap forming, like I said. Fred kind of falling out of order in front of them. Camborne now 2.2 seconds away from the next driver. Jack Fletcher may be looking for potential move here into turn 3. No, he does not. It's a really difficult place to overtake there, as there's just not a lot of space to fit 2 cars side by side through that corner without any wall action. So Major Castleman moving himself into the podium positions for now. More possible race strategies. Thank you. Thank you, F124. You already showed that, and you changed your mind. Put softs in there for 2-stop. Nobody's going to do a 2-stop in a 50% race, bro. So Castleman now falling off the back of Nick Hamrick. Nick is just pushing for his dear life, hoping to get within that DRS of Nick Aro. Maybe battle for the race win here. Major Castleman, a little bit more battery than Nick here. And not pushing as hard, but Major Castleman knows here we will have DRS as we head up towards turn 1 for the 3rd time tonight. So Castleman using a little bit of battery there to try to give himself some space. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the DRS starting point is a little bit further down the road than it has been the previous seasons, or previous years, excuse me. They shortened a lot of DRS straights of the last couple of years, and that is one of the big ones that they changed. But still, it's a huge run. Castleman getting really close to catching back up with Nick Hamrick. Nick Hamrick losing a little bit more time to Nick Aro, so Nick is just flying away at the current moment. Fred in his lonesome in the middle here. Camborne doing a good job of cutting that gap that was almost 2.5 seconds down to only 1.2. Ooh, looked like Cam almost went into the wall there. I think that was just a goofy little camera angle. Terrence back here on these hards in the Whataburger car. They are almost 3 seconds back Jack Fletcher, so it's probably Marcel Paps. Estelios will be eager to get by him to try to catch up with that rear train. We know that this midfield has always been known to just fight to the death for every single position, so when those fights begin, as they always do, there's always a chance to make up some lost time. Chubb Tucker, thank you for the nice words, my man. Bipolar pace. Yeah, bipolar pace is definitely a very accurate way to describe that. But, dude, it doesn't matter what your pace is. Like, Florida was struggling with the game earlier this season, but I was like, dude, your seat's still yours. You keep going, bro. As long as you race, that's all that matters. I mean, that really is all that matters. Like, it doesn't matter how fast you are. If you want to race, dude, you race. We're always going to try to do that. When we had to choose between people, ooh, a little bit of bumping there between the 2 Aston Martins. Spubby going into the wall there. Oh, no, he retired on track. So, very nice from that guy. Okay. No safety car or anything. His car's just slowly driving on track. I'm not sure where it's going right now. He's just kind of meandering right now. So with every car gone, this chance of a safety car goes down and down. Have you tried using child labor to progress the league? I did try that. Duncan, I talked with Garrett and Duncan, but they didn't. They wanted to wait a few years before they commit their children to the sweatshops. Revis had the idea way back in the day. He's like, I'm going to give all 12 of my children, where they're going to do all the grunt work for ZRL. But then he left, so I think he has his kids in another sweatshop at this point. So 26 laps is the race here at Baku. The tire wear for Major Castleman sitting at 7 and 9% on the rears. And that's the big thing to keep an eye on, is those rear tires will be the ones. Man, that Alpine is still there. It is now. It drove literally half the lap to drive to that Marshall stand, and it's still sitting there. So guys, this is why you don't retire on track. So Castleman and Nick Hamrick now on their own in the battle for P2. Mateo has fallen off. The little scrum that happened between both of the Aston Martin drivers on the previous lap, costing them a lot. And Castleman and Nick Hamrick going Nick Hamrick taking that position from Major Castleman. Maxime finally pitting, only making it 4 laps. So what were his tires at? Oh, he has front wing damage too. So he'll be going. He does not replace his front wing, so that is definitely going to be frustrating for Maxime. This game is always fantastic with its requirement to have to hit yes on the replace wing option just to get your stupid wing replaced. So now Maxime go for a safety car so he can get that thing replaced. A little bit of a DRS train here from Cam Bourne in P6 down to Marcel Paps in P9. Dave Raptor's the next one to pit, getting off those medium tires. So he plans to do 21 laps on these hards. So a long way to go, but it's definitely, from the information we have at the Whataburger headquarters, it's definitely possible. So now, 2 teammates side by side here in this running order. Looks like Fred having a few issues there as he was running out in front of his teammate and Cam Bourne by a few seconds and lost positions now. Fred apparently is driving with a cast tonight. Hopefully no big battles between these two guys. We saw the Astons kind of come together a little while ago, and they lost the DRS to Nick Hamrick in front, and they're losing more and more time. Again, they're not racing. They are just completely racing each other. If you're trying to swap to catch up, that is not how you do that. So let's see. Does Kai Guo come back at his teammate here? No, looks like, yeah, look at Mateo going defensive, I guess. What? It looks like Kai may go for it here, so Aston Martin just in a free-for-all battle here for P4. Maybe Roldy is just saying, put the show on. Give us a show tonight, boys. So, very interesting calls from Aston Martin here. Cam Bourne still leading this middle pack here. Freddie getting in front of Nathan on the previous lap. Looks like those hard tires might be performing a little bit better than these mediums now. Only 6 laps into this race. Mediums already still really not that much wear, is it? 13% wear. No, it's not. So Marcel Paps. Now Marcel in P2 at the start of this race, having to work his way back up the field after just a little too much contact between him and Nick Aro and going into turn 1 on lap 1. Marcel, a little too ambitious, trying to force Nick to give him space. But Nick just clobbering the rest of the field. Look at that, 4.2 seconds. This dude definitely came to party tonight. And here we go, we have more Aston Martin party here. Mateo not with any battery, but with the shortened DRS straight, it doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make any kind of move here yet. No, Mateo, very conservative into turn 1 here. We'll have another little helping of DRS as we head towards turn 3. A little bit wide for Mateo, potentially on that lap. Kind of sound of the car hitting the wall on the battery. So it looks like he may be trying to make a move again. No, you don't have enough, not close enough, Mateo. You're still too far back. But Cam Bourne has caught up with the Aston Martins, which also means Freddie has. So maybe something we may have missed here between Fletcher and Nathan Doan, causing them to fall out of DRS to Freddie in front of them. We'll see now with Cam Bourne in this fight with these Aston Martins. It's going to get interesting. Now, one thing I keep noticing, if anyone else has not noticed, if you look at that, ooh, big snap of oversteer for Cam Bourne. Will he get back within 1 second? Looks like he's still in it. Gonna have to use a little battery. But one thing to keep in mind, if you guys are noticing that at the bottom of your screen, looking at that car information there, that yellow fuel light is on for both Nick Hamrick and Cam Bourne. So I wonder if they're underfueling expecting a safety car, or if they're underfueling because they know they will gain fuel as they race here. Freddie Razzle on that battery. Cam Bourne a little bit, looks like he's looking a little bit too far back to make any kind of move. Doesn't have a lot of battery. Mateo, not a lot of battery, so now Kaiguo is setting a really nice pace here, holding everyone behind. They are closing the gap to Nick Hamrick and Major Caspen to get themselves back in the fight for a potential podium. Nick Hamrick is just at the moon at this point with how far in front he is, everyone. Nathan Doan getting in front of Jack Fletcher here. A long way to go for them to catch back up with the guys in front. 2.5 seconds is that gap. Nick Hamrick now being overtaken by Castleman. Almost had a replay there of the Checo and Carlos incident earlier. It looks like Marcel Pabst is off the track again. So, kind of just 2 races to forget for him. And there goes Terrence. Terrence right in front of him. We see part of his wing missing there. So, unlucky race for him. Freddie Razzle bumping the wall there. Fred driving with a little bit of wing damage. Not sure if he knows he has wing damage. This is kind of one of those tracks where it is a little bit possible to hang on with a little bit of damage. So we may not see people just getting out of the way to get a new wing. So Dave Raptors still with those new tires, 42 seconds behind. Why is he so... So I'm not sure if I missed something here. Maybe Dave Raptors having a bit of an issue there, but he is over a minute behind Nick Aro and the rest of these front runners. So he is effectively out of any kind of... He just lost any opportunity for any kind of undercut, so... Nick Hamrick here under 2/10 behind Castleman. Not close enough to make any moves here. Castleman holding his position for now. Looks like Fletcher and Nathan Doan swapping positions here. 3.3 is the gap now. But still a long way to go. Stelios, really the first one of these guys into the pits voluntarily. No front wing change for him, putting on the hards. The end of lap 9 here. Looks like Marcel Pabst will follow him in. Marcel with some wing damage, so he will likely have to get that replaced if you remember to press yes. Looks like he did, so he will get that swapped out. Maxime on the hards, so Maxime now right behind Stelios, 4-lap-old hards. That tire wear really low, but a lot of front wing damage, 86%, so higher than it was earlier. So Maxime will have will definitely struggle a little bit trying to keep up with Stelios with that front wing issue. But up front, a big battle here. We have a battle between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people for P2. So the battle for the last 2 podium positions is on here. Cam Bourne actually losing out to Mateo here a little bit. Freddie Razzle really close to him. So let's see, will Cam Bourne nail this corner and hang on to that DRS? Looks like he will. But Freddie Razzle is so close to him and has a lot of battery. Maybe time for these hard tires. Or like we've seen, over the last few laps, these hard tires are performing a lot better than these mediums. So Freddie's going to go around Cam Bourne before they even get to DRS. They now have DRS. So Freddie in front now. Nick Hamrick into the pits. Cam Bourne into the pits. So they've decided enough is enough with these mediums. Let's get some harder tires. So Freddie now just inside that DRS zone. Really nice time to overtake Cam Bourne there. So he will have DRS. Looks like more battles here. Looks like Kaiguo now moving into P2 past Major Castleman. So again, these hard tires are really showing out. The only issue is, again, the undercut with these in this game with these tires is so powerful. The alternate strategy is always super difficult to actually make work. Rebel double stack. So they didn't lose too much. Fletcher actually 5 seconds behind Nick Hamrick there, 6 seconds behind Nick Hamrick. So maybe that was a bit of an incorrect call for them. Nathan Doan 4.3 behind. Likely about time for him to pit as he. Yeah, you see that giant snap. No doubt Nathan will be looking to pit here on this lap. Mateo really close to Major Castleman. So Major Castleman, the last of these guys in this train on the medium tires. I imagine he will be pitting this lap as he has lost the DRS to Kaiguo here. Oh man, you just see the rear of these cars just sliding like crazy. So So only 24% wear on those rear rights, and the performance has dropped quite a bit. So Castle moving over. He's going into the pits. Mateo over a second now behind his teammate. The DRS should pull him back close to Kai. Major Castman in, Freddie in. So Fred has DRS. Nathan should absolutely go in. We have a yellow flag somewhere. Did someone go crashing into the wall? No, that is Dave Raptors. Low back here. So that would explain the struggles that he's having. Him and Terrence are not having a very exciting race as they're just trying to battle themselves. So Major Castleman out on those hard tires. Where will he be in relative to Nick Hamrick? It looks like he's going to be right next to him. Looks like right in front. He holds out in front, so he does not get undercut, but he's going to have cold tires. Nick Hamrick and Cam Bourne will be right behind him. Nick Hamrick will definitely go for the move here. Still has that low fuel indicator on. Oh, no. Ooh. Okay, Castleman moving over in a manner that Checo did not earlier, so they do not crash going into turn 3. Cam Bourne is also on the hunt, so again, keep an eye on these guys. Nick Hamrick and Cam Bourne both have low fuel lights right now. Major Castleman does not. So Nick Hamrick also having pit, but look at that gap. 8 seconds is the gap on those new tires. So, yeah, so he's just gone. Very close to the wall there for Nick Hamrick. Nathan Doan, 4.5 is the gap. Ooh, almost lost it there as he took that curb a little bit. Ooh, looked like he tapped the wall there. These hard tires are so cold on this outlap. So difficult to get through, to squeeze it through these goofy corners. So now the big question is, how long will these hard runners stay out? And how much time will they lose to everyone who's already pit? You have to imagine that these guys would know that any kind of fighting here is only going to hurt their race in the long run. So you would think that they need to be working together. Also, it's a bit of a surprise. I mean, maybe it'll work out for these guys, but both the Aston Martins going on the same strategy. Bold call, bold move, Cotton, if I do say so myself. So Nick Aro only 8.7 behind. He's actually gaining on these guys. Unsurprisingly, new tires. Yeah, they have a tendency to do that. Nick Hamrick not really putting any, actually losing out on time to Nick Aro. So let's see. Castleman not getting any kind of move there to take our net P2 away. So Nick Hamrick showing some nice pace, but Nick Aro is just insanely fast at the current moment. So Jack Fletcher in a little battle here for what looks like net P5. Once everyone has accomplished their pit stops, there's still a chance that these guys still are not within that undercut window of our 3 hard runners. Nathan with a big slide there as we head into this always exciting castle section. Exciting as in it makes your butthole clench because you may go crashing into the wall because you made a mistake. Up on board, back up here towards the top. So Freddie Razzle with that wing damage, showing no signs of pace drop off, at least relative to these Aston Martins. Actually going for an overtake on Mateo here. Mateo, no wing damage. Actually, his telemetry is just not on all the way, so we don't actually know. So Fred and Mateo going side by side into turn 1. Two people known for lots of bumping as they race each other. Will Fred go for another move here? May have a nice little run here on Kai. Not the greatest turn 2 there, excuse me. Looks like Kai is telling him, please don't overtake Fred. But Fred is Fred. So Fred did not go for that. I think Fred actually turned off his DRS there. So Fred doing a good job of driving with his broken front wing. But that gap to Nick Aro getting closer and closer as we head towards turn 3 here in the next battle. Cam Bourne overtaking Nick Hamrick. Major Castleman being sent to 3rd in line here. Nathan Doan and Jack Fletcher also in a little pitch battle, but they're losing time also, so you can kind of see the battling. The fighting for positions loses you a lot. Only for the last year, guy. So Nick Arrow only 6 seconds, less than 6 seconds behind Mateo, Fred, and Kai Guo. We saw our medium runners go about 8 or 9 laps before Nick Arrow, Castman, and Nathan going 9 or 10 laps, excuse me. So we may be a couple of laps away from these guys finally pitting. And Fred, with that wing damage, taking our lead of the race, technically. Looks like Mateo's going to go for the move also. He looks like a major lockup for Mateo, but he makes the corner. Nick Arrow setting the fastest lap of the race. Only 6.3 seconds now is the gap to our hard runners. Looks like according to telemetry, we should be, I don't know what that says, 20 seconds is the pit stop time loss. Unban axle. No offense, bro, but you were kind of asking for it. I'm not sure if I want to do that, despite the nice history of me and you being teammates for our first, or for my first ever ZRL race back in December of 2021. But I do recall you getting banned, and you weren't a very pleasant person when that occurred. So Cam Bourne still leading our battle for net P2 right now, but that gap is big. So these medium runners, maybe these guys can make something happen. A lot of battling happened between these guys, so they're not out of the battle for a podium yet. Yellow flags, looks like that is Terrence into the wall here at turn 2. Well, most likely does definitely have some wing damage, as you can see on the screen right there. Dave Raptors will overtake him. Unfortunate day for the Whataburger car and Terrence here. I know Terrence is going through some tough personal stuff right now, so definitely should impact. Well, definitely may be impacting his ability to race right now. Mateo overtaking Fred for the lead of the race. Maybe 1 or 2 more laps before these guys decide to go in. So now with Fred behind, actually losing a lot of time there. May have had a bit of a stinky exit. Nick Hamrick overtaking Major Castleman. So Cam Bourne, Major Castle, Nick Hamrick are net P2 and 3 right now. Or P2 and 3. P2, 3, and 4. So battle for the last 2 podium spots is underway between these 3 guys. 11.1 seconds is the gap between Cam Bourne and Nick Arrow. Hello from Mexico. Hello from Texas. So as we approach the end of lap 15, who will be the first of our hard runners to blink? Obviously, the Aston Martins can't pit at the same time, so will they pit the lead one first or the rear one first? Difficult to see. Terrence has retired, so nice effort, Terrence. I appreciate you giving it a shot. So Whataburger thanks you from the bottom of its heart. And there we go. Fred and Mateo, the first ones in here. Kai Guo having to do 1 more lap, but he'll have 1 lap fresher tires when he finally comes out of the pits. So Nick Arrow is going to blow past them, but where will they be in relative to Cam Bourne, Major Castleman, and Nick Hamrick? That is the big question here. Cam Bourne still has low fuel light on. Nick Hamrick's is not. So let's see. Cam Bourne coming out in front. They're actually right behind these guys. They're racing them. So the hard start is actually going to work here. Potentially Fred side by side here with Nick Hamrick, actually getting in front of him. So Nick Hamrick losing out is at the back of this train now. But Fred with DRS. So now Fred and Mateo on these medium tires. Where will Kai Guo come out? Will he have to catch up? Let's see. So again, this insane gap between Cam Bourne and Nick Arrow. Nick is flying insanely fast. He's basically averaging a second per lap quicker than everyone behind him. So I wonder if Nick is using the now infamous, whatever they're calling it, joy to whatever traction glitch. So exploit or whatever you want to call it, controller traction with the wheel, unassigned glitch, or if Nick is just cooking that well. So Cam Bourne will lead our fight for the final 2 podium positions here as we end lap 16. Kai Guo in the pits now. Where will he come out relative to the rest of these guys? It may not be as bad as I had assumed because these guys came out right next to everyone. So Cam Bourne still in the lead here. Mateo now in front of Major Castleman. So the medium runners are just absolutely cooking right now. Kai Guo coming out right behind everyone, so I have a little bit of time. I've just spent a little bit of time catching up. Nick Hamrick actually losing out a lot there to Major Castleman. So we see a bit of a big gap there. So now our medium, ooh, yellow flags. Looks like Dave Raptors is stopped on track potentially. Dave Raptors, that's a safety car. Uh-oh. So the alternate strategy working out fantastically has now sent everything into the nether realm here. Everyone on these hards, I imagine, will be pitting here for, if they have new mediums, they'll put them on. If they don't, maybe some softs, but we saw softs only go 4 or 5 laps. Maybe that is the call. We may not restart until the end of 18 or 9, or until 19 or 20, depending on how quickly we can get everything back together. But a safety car, Dave Raptors coming in, the Ferrari. A strategic Ferrari safety car to get Marcel back in the race. So Maxime pitting, so he's still on the lead lap. But Nick Aro, who had built up an insane lead, about 14 seconds, is now going to have to race people at least for one more corner. When the safety car, or when he restarts the race after the safety car. So a little bit of drama here in Baku. So Nick Aro going into the pits as expected. I'd imagine all of these hard runners are definitely going to be getting off those tires. They know that those mediums are just cooking at the moment. There goes Cam Bourne. There he goes. He goes in. So will the medium runners stay out? So Mateo is going to take the lead. Oh, actually, no. Going to take P2. Or this is going to be close. This is going to be really close. Looks like Mateo has the lead of the race. Nick Aro down to P3. So spicy. Cam Bourne going on to the softs. Major Castleman going on to the softs. So big gamble here. Major Castleman actually racing and qualifying, or excuse me, doing laps and qualifying on medium tires. So he may not have that option here. Jack Fletcher stayed out. So that's I guess they didn't want to double stack. That's a bit of a, they decide not to double stack when there's not a safety car. So that just means Jack Fletcher's going to lose out even more. Instead of him being in front, likely of the final 3 cars, he will go to the back of the grid when he inevitably pits. So Maxime putting on some mediums here. So Jack Fletcher, the only one outside of our 2 leaders here, and Kai Guo, who have pit right before the safety car came out. So we're going to have one spicy finish. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. A lot more viewers than we've had in the past, I might imagine. Just a few people checking in because of the announcement. And it is true. I'm not just putting that out there so people will watch this one stream. I mean, then the viewers dropped quite a bit, so unlucky. But So Jack Fletcher, I imagine, will be pitting here. If he stays on these hards, he's a crazy person. He will lose all of these positions. Well, he's staying out. So just hoping for some chaos behind. Score Red Bull some extra points tonight. But since I don't have standings right now, for context, guys, we are in round 8 of 10. Ferrari team principal here, Marcel Pabst, has driven the wheels off of his car this season and won 6 of the first 6 races. So he is in the championship lead by like 35 miles. So he's going to win the D1 championship as long as he races the last few races. Nick Aro has missed too many races to be a competitor. And Stelios missed too many races. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. People just miss too many races to have any kind of challenge for the championship. So Marcel now back in the fight here, may have a chance for battling for a podium. Unlikely a race win but crazy things happen. These safety cars can always cause the most bizarre stuff. We should be in at the end of this lap. We should see that message pop up any moment now. Too bad his wheels don't come off his car. They very well could. He's already crashed in the wall one time. So we still haven't seen that safety car in this lap message. Bit of a surprise. So, unless I missed it because I was too busy yapping. Watch Nathan and Marcel collide for Fred's win. Well, even if that happens, Nick Aro is still clearly the fastest dude tonight. The camera and Nathan going back and forth here. Looks like, okay, so safety car is in. So Mateo will restart the race here. Mateo, who is in his first and final season in Division 1. Showing some really solid pace tonight, showing that that alternate strategy is the way to go. And there he goes. There goes Mateo. Fred on his heels again. Fred still has that wing damage. Nick Aro right behind them. Kai Guo. The super safety car thing's not going to go away for like 9 laps, so I'm sorry, everyone. Camborne. So let's watch these soft runners. How quickly will these things fall off? Will they make it to the end? Already 5%. We saw them at like 20% or whatever with Maxime earlier, really fast. So they may be in the 30 or 40, 50% at the end of this race. We'll see. Fletcher losing a bit of time. These hard tires, definitely not the tire he would like to be on at the current moment. Will Camborne make a move to get in front? Nope, too far back. Freddie Razzle and Mateo still racing. Looks like Nathan and Nick Hamrick back here. Oh, hop on board just for Nick Hamrick to get slammed into the wall. No damage for him. So him and Nathan still going at it. Stelios going around the outside of Nathan Doan there, almost going into the back of Nick Hamrick. Falling back behind Nathan, so very aggressive racing in the midfield like always here. But shout out to Jack Fletcher, D2 race winner last week. Hanging on, well, as I say that, he loses that DRS delta back in it, and he's going to have to dump everything just to hold on to this. We'll have DRS at the start of this lap, or the start of the next lap. Looks like Fletcher is just doomed at this point. The soft runners kind of sucks for them that they're stuck behind this guy as they're losing time to the guys in front. Same thing kind of happening back here. Nathan kind of falling off. Wonder if Nathan got a little damage. No damage for Nathan, but he's struggling a little bit. Stelios, Marcel, and Maxime kind of getting squished here. But Freddie Razzle, we've seen him be really aggressive tonight. Will he go for a move here? He is going to go around the outside here of Mateo. Mateo holding the inside. Looks like Fred actually lifted a little bit. Fred trying to go down the inside. Mateo kind of squeezing him. Fred backing off there. And actually Nick Aro going around the outside of Fred there. Was that just a little bit of lag for Fred like we've seen a couple of times? Some battling here between Nathan Doan, Marcel Pabst, and Stelios. A gap kind of forming in front. Oh, and there goes Nathan. Nathan ghosting, so he's still good, but he got spun there a little bit. 1.6 seconds is the gap. to the rest of the field. More wide as we go towards turn 3 here. Marcel Paps in front of everyone now. Looks like the battling is not yet done as Maxime and Nathan are going side by side through the middle sector. Again, Nathan going side by side with Nick Hamrick earlier. More bumping between Nathan and everyone else. So Nathan racing with no chill. There's no way they can make this work. So Maxime backing out there. So back up here towards the front. Both the soft runners of Cam Bourne and Major Castleman getting by Jack Fletcher on the previous lap. Jack Fletcher still hanging on to them. Marcel Paps closing the gap to everyone. So now we have a DRS train down to Nathan Doan. So Nathan and Maxime. Nathan just not giving up any positions. Just fighting for his dear life. Losing DRS to Stelios at the current moment. I'd imagine here with DRS, Nicholas Aro should take the lead of the race. 100% battery. Look at this guy. Just not using anything. So he's going to dump his entire battery here, get out in front, and not look back. So Nick Hamrick overtaking his teammate here. Looks like Fletcher let him through. Lost a little bit of time there. Nick won't have DRS, so now Fletcher's going to give it back to him. A little bit of kind of a continue. So some strategy masterclass from Red Bull tonight. Nick Hamrick being overtaken now by Marcel Paps. So the worst teammate swap in the history of teammate swaps happening right there. So now Marcel Paps only 2 seconds behind Major Castleman. Ooh, and that looks like Fred going around. So Fred now, his front wing is even more damaged. So Fred falling down, and he is going to finish likely P12 at the most now. Mateo now in a battle for his life here with Cam Bourne. Looks like they're going to go side by side as we go through this corner. Oh, and Mateo goes into the wall. So Mateo, again, no full telemetry here, so I can't see his front wing. But Major Castleman and Cam Bourne getting in front of him. Cam Bourne now 1.5 seconds behind Kai Guo. So Kai Guo has an opportunity to pull away and guarantee a P2 tonight. As it's unlikely he'll catch back up with Nick Aro, who has shown just some nutty pace. So now both of these soft runners with about 3.5 laps to go. What's that? 23, 24, 25, 20. Okay, 4.5 laps to go. A long way to go on these softs. Will they hold up long enough? Cam Bourne losing more and more time to Kai Guo. Just, I may be looking too far backwards here. But so far, so good for our soft runners. But championship leader here, Marcel Paps, back in the battle here. Potential podium on the line with 4 laps to go. Stelios getting in front of Jack Fletcher. Nick Aro setting the fastest lap again. Major Castleman taking the lead of this train here. Battles happening behind. Looks like, is that a send? Ooh, Marcel. Looks like Marcel wanted to try to, or not Marcel. I don't know what was going on back there. But Mateo and Marcel now racing, or not Mateo. Yeah, Mateo and Marcel racing side by side here. Looks like Mateo will lose out on that position. And they all have DRS, so more crazy stuff's happening. Cam Bourne falling all the way down here to P6 after being in P4 right before the beginning of this lap. Castleman with a nice little bit of cushion, but Marcel right on his butt. So it's still a lot on the line here. Kai Guo with a nice, comfortable 2-second cushion to the rest of the field will likely secure his position in P2 for tonight's race. So 1 podium position on the line here between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 drivers with Freddie Razzle well behind everyone else. So how much carnage will we see in these last couple of laps? Castleman looking at 17% on those rears. Marcel Paps should easily get past him with the help of this DRS. Marcel just having insane pace right now. So the safety car, the Ferrari, a little bit of a Ferrari gate here tonight. Safety car gate, whatever you want to call it. Marcel in the weeds until the safety car comes out. Now he is riding in our final podium position on likely the best tires at the current moment. So let's see, does Major Castman have anything left? Actually, Marcel Pabst actually closing the gap now to Kai Guo, and we have, looks like Nick Hamrick around. So Red Bulls now screwed the pooch with their swap and their strategy, are now running in P10 and 11. Mateo now over a second behind Major Castman. Will he get that back over the next lap? Looks like he might. That delta is just flirting with 1 second there. Nick Aro with a 3-second time penalty. Uh-oh. Well, it may not matter. He's over 3.4 seconds in front right now. So even with that penalty, he is still sitting in the race lead. But the big thing is Marcel Pabst is rapid right now. They've closed the gap to by over 1 second to Kai Guo. Would he have the pace on the last couple of laps to catch up with Nick Aro? Probably not with the same tires. We've seen Marcel just particularly at Hungary, where Nick had a really nice position and Marcel just clawed him back and then smoked him at the end. Ooh, Mateo going really wide there, Max Verstappen style. Marcel now 1.2 is the gap to Kai Guo. Castleman still hanging on to DRS. Mateo over 1 second was the gap momentarily. Was he close enough? He does have DRS, so he may be safe from an attack from Cam Bourne. Actually, Cam Bourne is getting ridiculously close, so Mateo not close enough to use the toe of Castleman. Cam Bourne will go down the inside here as we head towards turn 2. This may secure Major Castleman's position here, as they're going to lose a lot of time to him running side by side. Ooh, and now Stelios wants to try it at Mateo now, and it looks like he's going to get that done. So Cam Bourne now, 1.5 seconds is the gap to Major Castleman. More battles here, as Stelios tries to make a move on Cam Bourne. Not close enough to make it happen, but that gap grows more and more to Castleman. So now Castleman's still in the fight for this last podium, but again, these soft tires may just not make it one more lap. Let's see, a lap and a half to go. Castleman's still in a battle here for P3, but that delta is growing more and more, and Marcel now has the DRS delta for Kai Guo. So Kai was looking very pretty sitting just 2 laps ago. Is now under threat of potentially losing his podium position here, depending on what Major Castleman is able to do. So still big battles here. Is Mateo going to go for a move here? No. So Cam Bourne is going to lead us into the final lap here. In this battle for P5, all the way down to P11. So we have 6 people in this fight. So it looks like Stelios looking with a bump there to Cam Bourne. Can't overtake him too quickly, guys. The DRS detection zone's is still down here. Or we're not even past that yet. So this is going to be spicy. Looks like Nathan is going to try to overtake Maxime back here. Oh my god, there's so much crazy. We might go 4 wide here into turn 1. Go back to the other camera. Looks like Mateo down the inside. Take that. No, looks like Nathan. Nope, Nathan is not the one to take that. So it looks like very close between Stelios and Cam Bourne going side by side. Everyone on the battery as we go through the final lap here. Castleman has fallen off the DRS of Marcel Pabst. But this fight back here for P5 is just never ending. A lot of respectful racing there. So no one hitting the wall there. Mateo currently leads the train here. It looks like Cam Bourne got ghosted. So now he's going to fall down to P8. Nathan and P9. More bumping here between Cam Bourne and Maxime. Maxime bullying his way. Oh, Cam Bourne having to jump the curb there. So both the Red Bulls still behind everyone else. Oh, some bumping. Is Nathan going to go to the wall? Nope, Nathan is able to stay out of the wall. So no shot you can overtake here. Cam Bourne may not have DRS here. Maxime has pulled away. Maxime losing it, and these gaps are all over the place. So we'll roll down here as we finish this race. Looks like Marcel Pabst in an excellent position here to secure a P2 after spinning twice in this race. Little Ferrari strategy going in here with that safety car. Kai Guo with a very awkward line as he goes through these final couple of corners here, and Marcel with the help of DRS and this load of battery. Kai Guo only 5% battery. Marcel Pabst going to go around the the inside of him. A secure P2. Kaiguo with P3. Kimorja Kasman in P4. Mateo going to hold on to it back here. Stelios not close enough to get that done. Oh, spicy battle back here. Camborne getting ghosted back there. Beating Nathan Doan by 8/1,000ths. Red Bull setting up a wall here, getting P8 and 9. And finish this lap driving into each other. Thank you, AI. Freddie Razzle down here with a new front wing and some soft tires. Does not set the fastest lap, I believe. It doesn't. It didn't actually count his last lap on my telemetry. So maybe he did. But man, one more lap, dude. We may have seen Marcel actually catch up with Nick. 3.9 was the gap. Actually, no, what am I talking about? That's after the penalty. So, yeah, Nick won by 500 years. Marcel Paps scamming his way to the podium once again. And then Kaiguo with a very impressive race, showing the alternate strategy is very possible here at Baku. And Major Castle with a really nice race there. Making them softs work a lot better than Cam Bourne was able to, unfortunately for him. And then Mateo in a really nice P5 there. Stelios in P6. Maxime with a nice recovery after with a really rough start to that race. And then the two Red Bulls of Nick and Jack Fletcher, P8 and 9. And then Cam Bourne out in P10. And then two Haas's to round up the order here. Nathan Doan and Freddie Razzle. So a very spicy finish there with that safety car. And that will do it for tonight here at Baku. Let's see if we can't figure out how to... That's not what I want. Get some interviews going here. I believe. Boom. There we go. Final order. The unknown Aston Martin is Mateo. Let's get these boys into our waiting room, and they are already there. So let's see if Kai wants to do an interview. We'll see. Unlucky for Nick Hamrick. Eyeballs in the wrong place, apparently, on the last couple of laps. So we'll give Kai a moment here to hop in the waiting room so we can do our interviews in order here, but very spicy, always exciting race here at Baku. Well, always. It's a relative term, but well, I sense Kai. Oh, he's typing. We'll give him a second. All right, Kai has declined interview. So congratulations, Kaiguo, on that very impressively done podium. That moves us into P2, the scammer himself. Tell us, Marcel, what were the exact words you gave to Dave Raptors to crash into the wall to cause a safety car so you could scam the field for another podium?
I am stupid. I am stupid. It was quite funny because I was with Nick and Stelios in one call, and Stelios just said, well, it would be kind of nice to have a safety car, you know? And then, yeah, my teammate crashed in the castle section. It's pretty funny.
Well, so Marcel, you're definitely going to win the championship. So we can kind of just say, congratulations, you're going to be the champion. So congratulations on being the champion in the final Zoom Racing League F1 season, dude.
I mean, we still have some races left, like...
Well,
who's second place right
the issue is that everyone no one has had good enough attendance to keep up with you. Like Cam Bourne and Nick Aro, they could potentially maybe fighting you for the championship, but they like to miss races. So you were 45 seconds, or I think you're like 50 points in the lead or something like that right now. So I guess technically there's a way to lose the championship if you just don't race or you crash out the last two races. And then maybe we'll do like 5 times the points for Monaco just to make it spicy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, it's 100% Monaco, so
No,
technically
no,
we're
no. We'll
doing.
do normal Monaco. We'll just do the 100% during the week like we usually do.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. We'll full quality all the good stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, like
So
this race was pretty interesting with my top speed, to be honest.
what did you have more top speed or less top speed?
Like Stelios asked me what wings I was running, and I told him, and he said that's kind of top speedy because I was dragging him along the straight, even that he had DRS and I was gapping him. Like I didn't have DRS and I was still gapping him with DRS, which was pretty interesting.
Ah, okay. Well, dang. Well, Marcel not ready to give away his secrets just yet, it appears. So we'll have to wait a few more weeks for all of Marcel's super secrets. All right, here we go. Here's the big important question, Marcel. Have you been using the unassigned glitch, and when did you start doing it?
No, I never use this bullshit. Like I know how to do it, but I don't do it because the difference is solely against you. Like half a tenth, maybe a tenth if done perfectly, but still. In the east, in the in the high esports scene, it's it's pretty high, 1/10, but in this league or MRL or whatever league, it's not worth it.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So we will we will go with that for now. You can tell your real secrets after after the season's over. Um, but we appreciate you, Marcel. Thank you for being TP of Ferrari for as long as you have, dude. And you've been with us for so long, even after we like banned you for a season or whatever for giving Dougie a toe or whatever happened, or actually no, for fighting Johannes that one time for
Yeah,
Sid.
like
What?
I wasn't allowed to reserve anymore in those last races, and then I got 2 race bans from towing Dougie in Brazil to the
Oh
win,
God.
and yeah, it's pretty
Absolute
simple.
menace. Marcel is a certified terrorist here. Marcel, have a role.
No, 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 no. We all know who the certified terrorist is.
we
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 all.
all we all know. Well, there's two now. We have at least two now. Um, not you. I'm saying I think Ryan is the other one, and then you, and then obviously Magnuson. Everyone knows Magnuson is a terrorist. But all right, Marcel, you go get some sleep, bro. Have a good night, and
Yeah,
congratulations on that P2.
thank you very much.
And then in P1, even though with the safety car still winning by like 45 seconds, Nick Aro, who's clearly using the Joy Tucson unassigned glitch tonight, right? And that's why you were so much faster than everyone.
Definitely, yeah.
Even if you were, I don't think we would do anything about it because, well, we can't prove it
Yeah.
in court. So, I mean,
No, I would never cheat. I feel like cheating is stupid, and it is. I don't know. I don't know what the point is of playing a game competitively to cheat because that's just ruining all the fun of getting better.
yeah, wise words spoken here by our race winner tonight. So, Nick, now 2 in a row. I don't even know where we're racing at next week because we're doing Monaco the week after that now. So, Nick, I know you haven't been with us all that long, but do you have any nice memories from your short time with us?
Um, Probably getting dropped from McLaren and then I think absolutely destroying the McLaren team in the next race I did. I forgot which race it was last season, but it was one of the last ones that I won, and yeah, I was very happy because I proved McLaren wrong. So
Hey, well, it was nice to see because I mean, when things like that happen, it can be very frustrating for a lot of people. But it's nice to see somebody come back and kind of, I suppose, in a way, redeem themselves. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate you, hearing us
yes,
out and kind of taking us a little bit more seriously. Even though we're not, we're not gonna like give you a giant bag of money for winning or anything like that. But we try to have some fun. So
hey,
Nick, that race, bro. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
honestly, improvement's better than money for me. I'm 14 and I don't got bills to pay. I don't got a family to feed.
Yeah, bro. 14. Oh man. Uh, you're literally. You're really young. Okay, let's in terms of relative to my age, that is very young.
Yeah.
So all right. So I believe if I can remember how to navigate my Discord here. All right. Next week we have. Oh yeah, Singapore. We're gonna go Singapore because F1's there also. Have you done any Singapore on this game yet?
Um, I've done a single race which I DNF'd on my own, so
Oh no.
it's not looking good.
All right. Well, let's see, man. You got 2 race wins in a row. Got to make it 3, right? So
Yeah, gotta finish the season out high.
yeah, yeah.
Triple street circuit in a row. That's gonna be interesting.
We do like it when people crash into walls on stream. That's our favorite thing. So
I hit a couple walls today, definitely.
there were many a broken wing today. All right, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you and congratulations on 2 wins in a row, man. And have a nice rest of your night.
You too. Thank you, man.
All right, boys and girls, and anyone else who does not follow gender norms. That does it for round 8. If you have not heard any word, please check announcements in the CRL Discord. We have 2 rounds left in Division 1. And then Division 2 will be back tomorrow night with more Baku. Yeah. So I look forward to these last few races with everyone. And y'all have a nice